Yeah, today we're going to talk about the exciting news from all the cards that we sold. We're going to be making our own series, and Luke has some ideas for some new products as well.
All right, sweet. So I put together kind of like a standard design brief proposal for kind of what I feel like you and the guys are kind of thinking here for what the cards should be. And then also have some like cool products just for fun. Like, I don't even know if they'll necessarily be relevant or if people will be interested in them, but
Yeah,
I
sure.
love just like tinkering with products and cool things. So yeah, just a couple things to show you guys too, just this kind of little behind the scenes sneak peek.
It's exciting.
Um, I see somebody saying his mic is muffling. Let me see
Double money.
if I
Okay.
can.
Oh yeah, that's me. If I move
Oh, okay.
farther back, then like maybe it'll be a little better, but
All right, perfect.
Congratulations.
maybe it'll be
You
a little
won.
better. Hey James, thank you, and thank you Lyra for the tier 2. Yeah, man,
Okay.
take the floor. I'm just curious to see what you got.
Yeah,
It's
sounds
all
good. So
you.
I do have if I have a Google Doc here, if I share screen, will that work?
Yeah, I think that might work.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
Oh,
Okay. So this is kind of like the standard template that I use to like put together design proposals for different card packs. And then I have like some questions in here. So figured we could just like run through this, kind of use this as a starting point, and then yeah, kind of like hopefully go through the questions one by one, and then by the end of this, hopefully have like a pretty solid plan for the shift pack heading into 2024. Does that sound like a plan?
yeah. Would you be able to like zoom in, maybe like 150% on it? There we go. I think that should be okay. Are you guys able to read that? Maybe like 170, 180. Okay, I think that actually works well. Yeah. You see how it looks on my stream? It's so scuffed. I love it. I think this will be okay. Yeah. There we go.
Okay, nice. Um, okay, so yeah, so obviously we're going to do a standard booster box style product here. The number of cards is still up in the air. That's actually one of the open questions, but I think the number of cards in the booster box kind of depends on how many unique cards we have, because obviously, you want people to have an opportunity to open a couple boxes in order to get all the cards. Like if you just open one box, we only had 36 unique cards. Everybody got all the unique cards right off the bat. That kind of ruins some of the fun of it. So the number of cards in the booster box is somewhat dependent on the total number of cards. So that's why we'll just leave that as kind of a question mark.
Yeah, for sure. And that all depends on like manufacturing costs and everything like that.
Yeah, and I have a couple updates to share on that front too, and some of that stuff we can obviously discuss off stream. But yeah, definitely have some good news updates on that front. So in terms of the outstanding questions around the product itself, so really what we need to think about is number of cards overall in the booster box. For example, we could say we're going to do 36. Number of packs, for example, we could say we're going to do 6 packs, and then number of cards per pack would be 6 cards per pack. Then 6 times 6 is 36, obviously. So that's kind of like the standard framework that we have to figure out there. And then the card rarity distribution in the pack. So how the card packing process actually works when it comes to the foil packs is there's a special collating machine that's designed for randomization, but you kind of have to like decide what cards you want in which order. So for example, with the speedrunner pack, we had I think it was 8, oh god, was it 8 unique cards per pack, and then the hollow rare or hollow legendary card was always in the 3rd and the 7th position. So you always want the rare cards in the middle of the pack, so that they're
Okay.
protected. The end cards are like the ones that are most likely to get damaged. So if you have like one arcane card or one legendary card, you would want that right in the middle of the pack, ideally. So card rarity distribution is just another kind of outstanding question, but not something we have to decide on tonight, but just something to think about. So we say like, if we're going to have 36 cards in a box, 6 packs per box, 6 cards per pack. Maybe we have like, if we scroll down here to the rarities, maybe we have two uncommons and then one of each of the rest or something. Or I mean, the thing
Okay,
is
so
I
you're
know you
pretty
want
filled in on like the spreadsheet and all that. Like, I
yeah.
had some
So
ideas
just
for like how many we'd make, but yeah, it's all up to you because you know the manufacturing.
yeah, and there's definitely stuff we can do there too. Like if you said, I saw you wanted like some 1 of 5 cards, for example. Those can obviously just be like sorted into random packs. Like they don't have to follow the exact distribution between the card rarity, but we need like a baseline, and then we can
Yeah,
kind of flesh it out from there. So we can say like,
exactly. That makes sense.
yeah. So we say like, okay, baseline is there's going to be one quote unquote like rare tier card per pack. And then that rare tier is going to be one of these three. So rare, legendary, arcane. One of those 3 cards will always be in like the rare slot. And then in that slot on the collating machine, we'll put all of the rare, legendary, and arcane cards. And then, let's say that there's 500 of those cards total, 250 of one, 100 of the other, and then whatever. My math's wrong, but like you could just stack those up so that they get mixed randomly in. So yeah, just kind of like behind the scenes of like how the manufacturing actually works. True randomization is obviously a myth. Randomness doesn't exist in nature anywhere, or sorry, outside of nature. So it's hard to be truly random. But I know all about the problems with randomization from the last pack. So
Yeah,
that
I
is in
mean,
the past.
hey, we still enjoyed it.
Yes, we've
Extra
solved
cards,
that. No
like
more
who's
randomization
gonna be
issues.
mad? Yeah, I mean, yeah, one of the issues like after of course like after the randomization got figured out that I noticed was that like the distribution of cards. I'm not really sure exactly what numbers would fix this. There was actually somebody in the community who made like a simulator to see how it would feel if we had like certain proportions of certain rares and legendaries and stuff to see like how often they turn up. But we found that like rare cards are actually kind of common, and that the legendaries were a little bit more common than we thought they'd be as well. So like that's one of the concerns that we had is we wanted to adjust how many. I put in the spreadsheet as well. The numbers are a little bit lower compared to what they were. I think that like the Hollow Legends were a little bit higher because they felt like almost impossible to get. And then we have like the next tier that's supposed to be like even harder. So figure like I've been kind of following the stuff you've been doing on the Twitter account with the Hermitcraft. I think like you have
Yeah.
I think they're like that series has like 100 Hollow Legends or something per creator. So I see like you're experimenting with that. Did that end up going okay? Also, thank you Z for the tier 3 man. How'd that end up going with increasing the number of those cards?
Yeah, it's been an experimental process, I would say, but it seems to have gone well. And I think the best way to think about the rarity distribution is just in terms of percentages. So if you just look at like the total number of unique card types and rarities, and then just plot that into a percentage of how many out of 100, like let's just say there's 100 total cards, how many of each type you would want. That's the best way to do it. And then I can kind of extrapolate from there. And then any like really rare cards that you want, like 1 of 5, 1 of 10, just don't even include those in the percentages because they're so rare that like
Yeah.
they'd be a fraction of a percentage point. So those shouldn't be relevant. And I think that has helped a lot with the most recent project we've been doing to make sure that there isn't like a big jump in rarity. Because I agree. I think the speedrunner pack, I think it felt like the regular legendaries were like pretty easy to get, and the hollow legends were super hard.
Yeah.
And I think that there just needs to be like a smoothing function applied to the rarity curve, or however you want to say it. But yeah, I think using the kind of framework of percentages works really well as a starting point, and then depending on the sales from the pre-order, we can kind of just slot those in and do the printing from there.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's interesting. Like you mentioned like a pre-order. I wonder how that would do because I think people are really excited about this, but I think that a big selling point of the CREO cards last time was that it was like during a subathon, so it was kind of like in the moment where like when they buy it, it adds time to the timer. So I'm curious to see how the pre-orders go, but it'd be pretty neat. Like if say this gets done like a year from now and they're like ready for like November, December, then to like time them with like some kind of like a sub incentive or like a donation goal. I think that would probably help. That's kind of just like a side note. I'm just curious to see like how the relationship of like a pre-order and also having that going on like a year later would do, because it's all just an experiment.
Yeah, for sure. It's an interesting question and something we're thinking about a lot for 2024 and the projects that we have lined up is like there's pros and cons to both, right? Like obviously the benefit of doing a pre-order is you only print as many as you sell and then you don't end up sitting on inventory. But you obviously lose that like in the moment hype of like buying cards, getting them shipped out right away, opening and like um getting into like kind of like cycle of opening cards, which is fun for a lot of people I know. So it's it's tough. I think doing printing ahead of time and not doing a pre-order is not out of the question. There's just a chance we might like underproduce and then sell out pretty quickly. But that isn't necessarily a bad thing either, because if that happens, you can always do like a series two with like the same cards and maybe even just like a little badge on the bottom that says series two. So people like that got the original cards have something unique.
Okay, interesting.
But a reprint's definitely possible too. So yeah, definitely all like options we can explore for sure.
Okay, cool. But yeah, it seems like we're pretty much on the same page with like obviously like the types of like like some of the stuff is placeholder. Like maybe we don't want to call it arcane. Maybe we want to like bump legendary up to that, and then like change the names of the ones below it. But that's kind of like the idea is like, uh, like the legendary cards or whatever that is filling that spot would be more expected for somebody to try to collect all of them. But the tier above that would be ones that not everybody's gonna get. Like it wouldn't be like too bad if you don't end up getting that one for your collection, because very few people are gonna get those. It's kind of the
Yeah.
idea that we were rolling with there.
Yeah, I like that. I like having like really rare chase cards too. I just think that that's cool and like it's such a cool moment when you pull one of those. I think it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. Couple other kind of just updates on like the packaging side of things and stuff. So we switched to like an iPhone style top bottom box. Actually, like found one of the like off-brand
I was gonna
iPhone
mention that. Yeah,
manufacturers.
that looks good. Yeah.
So the boxes are way better quality now, and they're way sturdier too. So I know a lot of people got like squished boxes sometimes.
You want to show it again? Actually, I just made your screen bigger.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there you
this is
go.
for the Hermitcraft. We can do a little spot UV pattern on there. I like that, and then just like a kind of like a slow open
Yep,
iPhone
perfect,
style
dude.
box. So
That was one of the things that came up was people wanted to have like a more of like a high quality box to kind of like help the presentation of the product. Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's good. They're way better. I mean, they're like way more money. The ones that we did initially were way more reasonably priced, but we're also kind of at a larger scale now. So some of the economies of scale come into play. So we have a little more purchasing power, which can help. So yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
nice, man.
so top bottom iPhone style. Oh, I just want to compare to, not to just like pat myself on the back here too much, but Topps is also, obviously everyone knows Topps, famous trading card manufacturer. Um, they recently have started doing more of like the creator trading cards or whatever you want to call them. Let me just show you what they do here.
Interesting.
So Topps did a series of cards with the Sidemen. I don't know if you know them. They're like UK YouTube group. KSI is like the head of the Sidemen.
Oh, okay.
Logan
All right.
Paul, Nemesis kind of guy. So anyways, Sidemen, side cards. This is what they did. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty nice. But also very kind of like flimsy, squishy packaging. And then inside, this is what killed me. I bought this. Nice big box. I was all pumped. And then inside, it's just like 3/4 empty. This is literally how it's shipped. Or
Interesting.
half, I
So it's
guess,
just for
but
presentation then, like to make it
yeah,
look
and I was
bigger.
like, who wants to open a box? And even from Topps perspective, like I guarantee you, every single person that bought these cards,
Translation.
the first emotion that they had when they opened this box was disappointment. And like, why would you design a product like that? So, anyways, just in comparison, like we made the box like an actual reasonable size with like the
Right.
packs that fit in there nicely, right? So I don't know, I just a small thing, but I was like,
No, that makes perfect sense. Like, was that your inspiration to make it like that?
yeah, honestly, that was a big part of it. I was like, we did it with the Speedrunner pack too, which was before these side cards came out, but I saw that and I was like, oh man, this is just reinforces that like you
Okay.
don't want to do a big box. Because that was also I heard some people say when they got the Speedrunner boxes initially, they're like, oh, this is smaller than I was expecting. But I think I'd rather have people say that like right off the bat rather than after opening it and just seeing that it's half empty. So
Yeah, that's really smart. I couldn't agree more, man. That's a good take. I like that.
yeah. So and then of course we can also do fully custom box artwork for you too, which could be cool.
Yeah, we got a pretty established brand over here with the colors and stuff. I think that looked nice. Yeah, people like
Yeah.
that.
Hell yeah. Okay, so just moving down along the options here. So card finishes. Obviously, we'll do standard cards, and then we can obviously do holographic as well. Just another decision that needs to be made there is like which cards are going to be holographic, whether you do holographic across the board or whether you just do keep holographic for like rare, legendary, arcane only. But yeah, just doesn't have to make that decision now, but that's a decision that needs to be made.
Yeah, I think that people really enjoyed collecting the hollow variations of rare cards or just cards in general. It's kind of like you get to have your chance to get the just the artwork itself, but then if you're a collector, you can try to get the harder versions of each one. I think that people really enjoyed getting like two hollows per pack just so they were guaranteed to get something cool, and
Yeah.
then like collecting like because it makes all the cards valuable, like I think that the hollow common was even rarer than like a normal legendary, so it's kind of like that next like bump up. That was kind of what
Yeah.
I was like thinking with the whole like diamond foil or whatever, where it's like you can get like different kinds of foils or like or hollows to like if you get all the hollows, it's like okay, like how many of these can I get? Or like most likely what it'll do is probably encourage trading because you're not going to be able to get all of them on your own. Just get more people to bring their cards to events and stuff.
Yeah, I like that. So sounds like we're leaning towards kind of a hollow version of everything. I like that too, just because it's an easy way to add additional unique card variants. And when we're doing like just a pack exclusively for you, I think the more unique cards, the better. So that's definitely something we can just like have. If we end up with 50 unique cards, now we'll have 100 unique cards because we'll have the
Exactly.
standard and the hollow variation. So I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, sweet. And then also the other thing I was thinking about, I think I maybe mentioned this to you, or maybe not, honestly, but let me just pull up the site here. So if you take your legendary, for example, this black border, it would be fairly easy to change out the color of that border and not add a significant amount of manufacturing overhead cost. So if you wanted to use the standard CREO border as kind of the template for your cards again, we could, let's say again, we come up with 50 unique cards, card artwork designs. Right away, we could do like a silver border, a gold border, and a diamond border, and triple the number of unique cards. So we could go from 50 to 150, and that wouldn't add any additional artwork costs. That wouldn't add any additional manufacturing overhead cost, or minimal, not huge. So that's just another option where you can add unique cards without needing a whole bunch of new artwork.
Interesting. Yeah, because what I was thinking was like, if it's the same artwork, but I know like some of the artists that I worked with, they just don't charge for like color variants, or maybe they could like charge like a tiny surcharge to make like a variant that's like like looks like it's like gold or like diamond, like the colors are changed a little bit, or maybe like I have no idea how the other card companies do it, where they like you can tell like what it is, but the actual like foil has like a texture over it, so like
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, like yeah,
yeah,
you,
for
you can
sure.
tell what
So
card it is, but it's got like texture on it, so you can like feel it's like oh okay, like this is supposed to be this card, but it's like a gold like plated version of it or whatever.
Yeah, totally know what you're talking about. So just in order there, the first thing that you mentioned was like just doing color variations. I also think that that's a good idea because I think like, yeah, even working with Turtle on your initial round of cards, like I'm pretty sure the water on your rare card was like a light green at one point, and then it went to blue. So that would also be, yeah, just like changing background
Takes
elements
like 2
to a new
seconds, yeah.
color scheme would be pretty simple, I would think, from an artist point of view. I'm obviously not an artist myself, but yeah, can't be that hard.
Yeah. So like
Famous
at
last
minimum, it
words.
could cost a little bit more, or like those terms
Yeah,
are agreed upon before we make them.
for sure. Absolutely. Can definitely organize that all with them ahead of time. And then, yeah, as for the different foil patterns, so yeah, essentially you can just choose when you pick holographic cards, you can choose the foil pattern. So I um for the speedrunner pack and the foils that we typically do, we do a very subtle or consistent finish, but you can also get foils that have more of like a sparkly background. You can have foils that have like a diamond pattern in the background.
Yeah.
The only thing is that it's a little distracting from the artwork. The foils, I did a whole bunch of tests and samples on them. It's a little distracting for the artwork, and it's also sometimes not super obvious. So like you could pull like if we were doing rarity tiers for like a diamond patterned foil versus a standard one, you might pull the diamond one and not immediately recognize that it's a diamond pattern foil, which to
Yeah.
me just kind of like kills the hype of the moment a little bit. So
I
I
agree,
think,
but it is kind of a big thing in the MTG community where there are cards like that where like you said, like it's like a little pattern that like goes across, and like yeah, I agree. I'm not a big fan of it either, but it does seem to be popular. It's worth noting, but I agree that I don't like it that much personally.
yeah, it's an option, and maybe we just do like one of those. So maybe rather than having like multiple different rarity tiers of different foil types, maybe there's just like one separate foil type that you can keep an eye out for, just to like simplify it a little bit, but still add that layer of collectability, which I
What
do
if
like. So
like what if we did it kind of like just like spitball and like they have like the hollows, and then the golds would be like like have the same normal hollow foil, but with the gold color palette, and then for the diamond like some kind of like you ever seen like those like geometric patterns that you can like kind of generate where like they're like the triangles like and polygons kind of like stacked up onto each other. I
yeah,
think that like some kind of like a holographic pattern like that goes across the whole card could help kind of like sell the whole diamond thing. Because otherwise it would just kind of look like a blue card or something like that, like a lavender bluish card. Maybe something like that could work. But I agree with like the holographics patterns that kind of look like stamps across the card. I'm not a fan of those. But if
yeah,
they're kind of like bunched together and they kind of make that like illusion that it's like a multi-faced diamond, that yeah, exactly. If it looked like crystal, yeah, exactly what he said in chat. Yeah, math.
Yeah, I like that. Let me look into that too. The last time we were looking into different foil patterns, essentially there was like one of 7 that we could choose from. Like it wasn't like we could make our own unique foil pattern
Okay.
unless you're buying like at serious volume. So and I just remember looking at them and just thinking they looked like a little childish almost. Like some of them were like yeah, like kind of goofy patterns, but I can't remember. It was like over a year ago that I looked at these. So let me look at it and send you a couple options, and then we can see what we think and go from there, and definitely keep it as an option in the back pocket.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Okay, couple questions here. This is just personal reference or personal point of view. I'm curious to hear what the chat thinks too, but I would have thought that common would go below uncommon because you're like if something's common and then something's not common, wouldn't that mean that
Oh, is that
like
not what I had? Maybe I
it's
mixed it
not,
up.
but I couldn't I didn't know if I was misreading that or something.
Oh yeah, no, it would go, like common and then uncommon, then rare, legendary. I mean,
Okay,
I
perfect. I
think
thought
this
I was
is more
losing
just
my
to
mind there.
establish that we want 5 different tiers, and then the final tier to be like you wouldn't expect to be able to complete the collection of these or just for fun.
Yeah.
But like the names like obviously like up in the air, that was just to demonstrate like, you know, there are 5 different categories we're going for, regardless of what they're named.
Yep, I like it. Honestly, I like what you have here too. Like I don't mind these at all. The only other ones I was going to suggest is like you could do uh like non like remember for the speedrunner pack we did items and companions. If there was something else like that like when I did the item and companions for the speedrunner pack, I was kind of thinking about it in terms of like energy cards in Pokemon, where they're just kind of like almost filler cards. They're very common, easy to
Okay,
get.
that makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
And they were way cheaper to commission for artists because it's just like a simple drawing. So, and it's also a way to like add a bunch of cards just to like flesh out the deck. So if you wanted to have like another tier of like even below common of like item cards or something of just like famous things and references to things that have come up over the years.
Yeah, see,
And there's
that's the
just like
thing is like when you mentioned that the manufacturing could be a challenge with like how many cards we could print. I think we probably have to like figure out like how many we'd actually be able to print, because one of the feedback that I got was that there were a lot of like items and like pets and stuff like that in the packs, and it felt like filler. But um, how do I like join these two ideas together? That like because there's a limited number of cards, we had some ideas for stuff like that where there's like like maybe like the orange shades that I was using during like the Dutchman playthroughs like years ago, or like the hat that I used to wear. But we kind of like decided to take those elements and combine them into like bigger picture artworks, and then use the common cards as kind of like the filler. Because on the list we have like 2 common cards per year. So Chad, if you don't know like how pretty much work is, we'd have like so the idea behind this series is like it's the 8 years of the stream, right? And each year in and of itself has a set of cards, so you can complete the series from that one year. So like the 2016 cards, for example, would be like you'd have like 2 different types of common cards, 2 different types of uncommon cards, maybe 1 to 2 types of rare cards, or like like 1 or 2 legendary cards. It really depends on how we decide to distribute it per each. I don't remember how I did it actually on the spreadsheet, but it would pretty much look like that. So that was kind of our thinking, was that like instead of doing the like the pets and the golden spatulas as like the as like the filler cards, like we can make the common cards filler cards. So like at least like you're getting like this like big fleshed out like idea instead of just getting like a golden spatula. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. I think that this is actually how you had it laid out there in the spreadsheet, where there would be like 8 unique card types per year.
Oh, I
8
see.
years, 64 unique card types. I don't know if maybe this was just a draft for now, but that's kind of where you were at to start. I like the idea of having more fleshed out cards. I think so. I've also been doing a bunch of work with our manufacturer to like figure out how to do just more cards with more people and maybe more specific packs. Like, because I've heard that from other people as well, that people kind of want their own packs. They don't necessarily want to group up with other people, which is totally fair. And I think I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think we're working on a way where the number of unique artworks is not going to add significantly to the manufacturing costs, because we're going to like blend them in with other large volume card runs that we're doing. And now that we're operating at a higher volume, we can kind of like benefit from that.
Oh, okay.
And but the main cost is the artwork, because the artwork is not cheap. So that would be the main thing of, it's not going to cost a lot extra to add more unique card types from a manufacturing point of view. Like we can set up the plates in a way that they're kind of distributed between a bunch of different printing plates that we have. The main cost is just going to be the artwork, actually
Right.
Commissioning that
Makes
and getting
sense.
the unique artwork. So just wanted to throw that out there, because I don't know if that will change your opinion, and you can definitely think about that. But that's new information anyway. So essentially, like theoretically, we can kind of have as many cards as you want. There's not really a limit from a manufacturing point of view. But
There were some tough decisions when we were making that list, because there were some that didn't make the cut. So I could go back and think about that definitely. And of
Yeah,
course,
definitely
like the
flesh it out. And the more the better, in my opinion. Like the more cards that people can chase and the bigger the collection, the cooler the cooler I think it would be. So
especially with the
um,
speed runs, like there are a lot of different runs that like, ooh, people really enjoyed that run or like that run, and like we could have a card specific to this event. But especially like last year with the movie madness and all the crazy stuff that happened during the subathon and like that, we had
yeah.
to make some pretty tough choices on like which ones people would be able to collect. So like, yeah,
Yeah, no.
even if we did like 10 to 12 cards per year, that'd be pretty cool. And I'm not sure how much that would influence my decision to like have the different variations, because like the variations are still cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, also like kind of like off topic, but I feel like if we're working on this for a while, we might even want to like include like a ninth year or something like that, depending on how long we work on this for, because like who knows what's gonna happen next year, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And
So
that's definitely
that'll add more
something.
cards in and of itself, like along with the ones that already exist.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And essentially, we can add cards right up until the point that we start manufacturing and we do the handoff to the manufacturing team. So that's a great point here to transition into manufacturing and logistics. So essentially, the overall simplified process here is confirming the card list. That's got to happen first. We got to nail down what the cards are, what the rarity types are, like a solid final list of the cards. Then I can get you like an accurate quote with the details and at different like volume tiers. So we can kind of see how that plays out. Then we need to like pick the artist. Then we need to do the artwork. Then either, if we do the pre-order window, that's when that would happen. As soon as the artwork is done, then we would go into manufacturing and fulfillment. Or um, if we wanted to try and do print ahead of time, have the inventory, and then sell them. Obviously, the manufacturing would start, and then we'd sell ahead of fulfillment. So just spots 5 and 6 would switch spots. That's all. But yeah, that's kind of the overall timeline. Just as a point of reference.
Makes sense, yeah.
On that note, if you wanted to do signed insert cards, like random signed cards, we could do that as well. I just wanted to make a note that that does add a significant amount of time. Manufacturer's got to ship to me. I have to ship to you. You have to sign, ship back to me. Then I ship back to the manufacturer. A lot of shipping involved in there. Not impossible, but it's always fun. Like hunting for
I
autos
like that a lot.
is
Yeah,
good.
I usually try to like offer to do that at events too. Like I'll like sign everybody's cards and stuff. That could be a nice way for people who don't go to the events to get their signed cards. So like how would that work? We'd probably do the same thing with like the percentages, right? Like you send me like a set of different cards, and like a percentage of like those cards had gotten signed, something like that.
Yeah, there's different ways we could do it. We could either have a unique piece of artwork that's only for signed cards, which in hindsight, based on some of the most recent projects, that actually works well because you can design the artwork around where the signature needs to be. Some of
Yeah.
the cards that we're doing right now don't really work to have a signature because they're just so busy. So that's been tough. So you can either do like new piece of artwork, these are the auto cards, this is what you're looking for, or you can just pick and say like, hey, I'm going to sign 10% of all the arcane cards across all the different designs. So maybe that's going to be like 10 or 50 or 100 total or whatever.
Right.
It also depends on how much time you want to spend signing cards. Like people underestimate the grind that it is to sign a large number of cards. So yeah, also kind of somewhat dependent on how many cards you want to sign to.
Yeah, because like we're looking at like 60,000 cards total or something like that. I think at the numbers I gave you. And if
Yeah.
that's only going to go up, then we'd probably be signing like at least like 500, which that's not a big deal. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. 600 is not crazy if you did 1% either, like
Yeah,
1% of
that's
cards are
fine.
signed. So, um, okay, cool. The other thing I wanted to show you was, so this is another product line that we launched this year outside of the booster box style cards. Interestingly, these did better than our booster box style cards. They've been super popular. People have really enjoyed these. We're calling these collector's edition cards, and they are individually slabbed cards in a collectible box that
Oh,
come in like an official hermetically sealed,
right. Just like the
permanently
ones that
sealed
you gave
style.
us as like tokens, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And these are, when I sent them to you, not to talk down on my own self, but I did all those myself. I sealed those myself. I like handmade the labels myself. And now we actually have like the legit manufacturing process. It's called ultrasonic welding. We ultrasonically weld them shut so they're permanently sealed. So these are like official like
Oh,
PSA grade level slabs that are permanently sealed. So they're super cool. They're really nice. There's like, I don't know if it came across, but we have like the official. Oh, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but like
so
there's an
these are,
official
sorry
like
to interrupt, but these are like separate artworks, or they're like the same that you'd be able to find in a pack? Like, how do you decide like how to sell these? Like, you're probably about to get into that, but yeah, I'm just curious.
Yeah. So what we did for Hermitcraft was we did the base cards that are in the booster boxes are only available in the booster boxes. And then every Hermit got their own alt art card that you
Oh,
could just buy that directly. So maybe we could do that where we have like one of like an arcane level artwork, work with Turtle, like design some awesome custom artwork piece. And you could also just sell that directly as a collectible piece, because some people just don't want to chase cards. Like some people just want to buy the card that they like.
yeah, yeah,
I don't think we should necessarily offer all the cards individually for sale because they also have like minimum order quantities and stuff.
exactly.
But if we picked one with like your favorite piece of artwork or a unique piece of artwork for that could be a really cool product.
What if because I have a lot of fans who have watched me over many years. How practical would it be to do like a special like token card from like every year, so like 8 total, and it's like a different artwork that kind of like encapsulates the entire year as like a big like mural kind of thing. I think that would like make the most sense if we did it like that, if it's practical, of course.
Yeah, let me check about that. Practicality of 8 collector's edition cards. Okay.
Yeah, because I
I
think
will
that
get
like
back
because
to you.
you'll have people who like, especially with the whole speed running thing, you're playing the same game every day. So there are people kind of like fade in and out, and like maybe they find it and they watch it for a long time for a certain year. Like there are going to be certain years and certain eras since I've been going so long that they're gonna really like. I think that somebody might want like a token card from like 2017 or 2022 or something like that. I think that'd be really nice for the fans who are like they really like watched a lot during like one era.
Yeah. No, I think that totally makes sense. I don't There is an additional cost for every unique card on the collector's edition front. But let me get back to you on that because I think that'd be cool too.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, just
Um,
spitballing.
okay, cool. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it I had on my list. I mean, we kind of have the outstanding questions here, but we don't need to answer all those tonight necessarily. But yeah, that's kind of the overall process. That's what I wanted to cover. I had just like a couple other like cool things I'm working on that I thought I'd show just for fun
Yeah,
if you want.
absolutely. We're all curious about that. Yeah,
All
it's
right,
like a
cool.
big
So
reveal. Yo, Grand
first of
Shine, thanks
all,
for two
I think
years.
I've shown this before. But just like the experimenting with like different ways to like display cards and stuff. I think this is cool.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
like
a
that.
acrylic precision machined acrylic and aluminum display. I only have one of these, and I have my shift cards in there. Um,
Nice.
just for the record, just putting that out there. I didn't just put them in for tonight either. So these are sick. I love this on my shelf. Looks so good. And then um, also
Yeah,
just
that's
have
good.
like a single desktop display for the slabbed
Oh yeah,
collector's edition card. So those were really popular too. People just like buying that so they could like display the card outside of the box.
I think that'd be
Also
really
cool.
popular with this, especially because like we have like cards that like literally only 5 are printed of them. So like someone's gonna get that card and be like, this is the whole this is all I wanted. You know what I mean? So they'll probably put
Yeah,
that in like the single. Yeah,
hell yeah. And then a couple other things here.
nice. This is the one.
Yeah, I got a few things here. So I had this big idea a couple months ago where we have all this artwork that I love, and you've probably seen this, but we started doing metal art prints of the artwork. Essentially, so I'll just show you one here before I dive in. But this is actually one of my favorite ones. I'm gonna send you one of these two, SHiFT.
I love the metal plates. That's so good. I love
It
that.
looks sick. It's like really good quality. These are like what
They're like magnetized too.
so weirdly they're not. They're made out of aluminum, so they're not magnetic. And that has been very annoying for me to figure out a way to hang these.
Oh yeah.
Right now,
So like, so you know display, right? Probably.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So like my brother got me one of those at one point. He got me like a Prince Zuko, one of those. But like they have like these like magnetic stickers that go on the back of it. So you can even just like ship them with like those stickers, and people could just like put them on their walls or something. Like, you know.
So yeah, display that like farm one there. That
it's a
picture there is
display,
actually
okay.
display. I've just been like buying some to figure out how they ship them and how they hang them and stuff. But they're not made out of aluminum. There's some other type of metal that's magnetic, because aluminum is not magnetic. And right now I'm just shipping these like with like command strips, you know, like the Velcro adhesive 3M command strips for people to hang, but obviously not ideal. But yeah, I got a couple more here just to show. This one's my favorite. I probably should have saved this one for last, but
I love that artwork, man.
such a sick piece of artwork, and like it looks so good on the glossy metal print. Like these are actually the blanks that like high-end photography galleries will use to do like their like official galleries of their National Geographic photo shoots or whatever. It's really cool. It's a process called dye sublimation, and essentially you print your dye sublimation ink onto transfer paper, then you heat it in a heat press, and it turns the ink from a liquid into a gas and then infuses it directly into the metal. So they also like can never fade. They're always super vibrant, super durable.
That's
yeah, we also
beautiful.
have like a smaller size here, 5x7, just a little classic golden spatula. Got Sunny hanging out here too.
Sunny.
Good piece.
Yeah, it's really nice
also
seeing
looks
the
really good.
artwork like without the framing around it too. It's like a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
That's one thing to consider too, because yeah.
So good.
See, that's the thing is like with the first one you showed, that's definitely the best one for this kind of a thing, because the waves kind of like take up all the extra space in the background, even though they get covered in the card. So
yeah.
see, like that's what I'm thinking is like with the idea for like having like the montage for like the 1 year thing, like the collector cards we were talking about. If we potentially had 8 of them, that would do really well as like one of these plates that go on the wall, because like I assume that these kinds of cards would be something with a lot of detail in them, and you'd be able to see the detail much better with something that's on the wall. So that's a really great idea too. I like that a lot. And plus, like if it's the fact that like they'd be like, if they're gonna like mirror the collectors, we can cut costs on the artwork there. And it's also like these are things that you would be able to how do I put this? Like you wouldn't be like spoiling what's in the packs, because the cards themselves are like they're buyable only, and you can't like get them by random, if that makes sense. So you kind of have like your cards you can get in the packs that are like all like maybe like say like 8 per year. And then for that 1 year, there's like the collector's version that you can get in the little case, and then there's like the wall version that you can hang up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that, and I love that because, like you said, I think it would kind of feel like spoiling the booster packs if you could just buy the card you wanted.
We
So
gotta show some of them, but not like not the big ones. Also, thank you, Kat, for the 34 months.
Yeah. So now that being said, I probably should have led with this, but so here's how we were thinking about the Displates. I had this big idea. I was like, Displate's a massive company. People don't know this, but they're public about it. They post quarterly earnings. Displate is a giant company. Like they did over 100 million last year in revenue.
Wow.
And they're already I think they've done 30 million already last quarter. So they're like growing quickly. They just opened a new factory. They're based out of Poland. So my thought number one is obviously people like metal artwork on their walls, right? That's like a good proven product idea.
Yeah.
And then the idea number two was like, okay, we have all this cool artwork. We only used it once for the speedrunner pack,
I see.
I feel like we should get some more value out of this artwork. I feel like people want the artwork just to appreciate the artwork necessarily, but not necessarily on a card. Let's do metal prints. So I bought like a commercial dye sublimation printer, big ass heat press. We've been doing metal prints. We did a little test run. We sponsored a Minecraft speedrunning tournament and did some new art prints with them. And it's been a nightmare. Like turns out metal prints are really hard to pull off. Essentially, there's like 3 different variables you can change. You can change the temperature that you're pressing it. You can change the pressure, the amount of pressure that you're actually pushing down, and you can change the amount of time that you put it under pressure. And each one of those variables, adjusting it even by a fraction, produces dramatically different results and can really mess up your print. So
that's going to vary artwork to artwork. You got to like fine tune it for each of the types of color palettes, and that sounds like a lot of work. Yeah,
exactly.
It's expensive.
I'm still kind of optimistic about it. I was thinking that we would do all the prints in-house. I was like, oh, we're going to be a printing company now, you know, like we're going to get this going. This is going to be bigger than the trading cards, but turns out a lot of people like Hermitcraft, so that's kind of gone out the window a little bit, but
that's the best kind of you know, like oh, this thing's so successful that now like this might not be as successful but still potentially successful. That's great, man. It's great to hear.
Good problem to have. But essentially, I'm in conversations with some other like commercial printers, people they just do that's kind of dye sublimation printing. That's all they do. So I'm hopefully going to be able to like outsource that and then still offer these as a product. But I just wanted to kind of hedge that whole conversation by saying that, you know, that product is not working right now. Hopefully it will.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah, not right now.
Yeah, no, the original artwork looks great. I was actually thinking that when this new series comes out, if you guys happen to have speedrunner packs left over, it might help sell the rest of them at that point, because people are going to be looking for the original cards for like trade value and collecting.
Yeah, for sure. And we really don't have that many left either. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. I obviously have like big dreams of CREO becoming like a huge big company. Like I want to be the next Topps, you know, I want to be the next Panini. And I feel like these original speedrunner cards, the OG CREO cards, first ever CREO cards produced, are going to be, you know, sought after eventually, hopefully.
If you want to keep some of them around, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not upset about having a couple hundred boxes of cards on hand at all. Like I don't mind that at all. So
fair.
I think it's cool. So yeah, no worries. I'm not stressed about that at all. Okay, and then last product on the idea or on the same kind of wavelength of trying to like find other stuff to do with the artwork. This is one I'm really excited about. This is sneak peek here. No one's seen this outside of CREO, so just keep this between us all here tonight. So this is a product that I don't even know how I'm going to show this. This one's huge too.
Whoa.
So this is called a Lightbox product, and it's essentially, let me see if I can move my mic here.
Ooh.
So it's called a Lightbox. Glass, very thin, very low profile. This is one of the Hermitcraft trading card artworks. And then the best part is when you plug it in, obviously it glows.
Oh yeah.
Terrible on stream. That does not come across well at all. But in a dark room, let me see if I can actually turn.
It might be hard with the way the camera captures it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's really tough. But in a dark room and in the background, it looks super cool. And this is something that we're working on in the background right now as well. So the Lightbox, that's going to be a CREO 2024 product.
That is very cool.
I think that'll be cool. And that's also like, it's really easy to print more of the artworks that go in there. So like we could just sell the Lightbox once, and then you could just buy a whole bunch of different film prints and kind of swap them out really easily. So that's kind of the idea there. There's a bunch of things that I don't like about that. That's actually right now, this is like a super early prototype.
Yeah.
And that's literally like a fast food restaurant menu, like a modified version of that.
That's actually hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, so that's what they start out. That's what those light boxes are typically used for. But we're going to try and make a new one that's better. So sorry, where I was going with that is like it's super hard to get the artwork in and out right now. It's glass on the front, and I want to move to like a plexiglass or even a plastic so that it doesn't crack. We had like half our samples break.
Yeah, with like the glare too, like that could probably help with that a little bit if you change the material as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw somebody say like having only some of the places light up in the art would be super cool too, and like doing different layers of translucency.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So anyways, I don't know. I've coming on stream. I felt like kid coming to like show and tell here. I had to bring some cool stuff to show. So
That's super cool. Have you ever thought about getting into like figures and stuff like that? Like that sounds like crazy for manufacturing costs, but I've always thought about like figures, like how cool that would be.
yeah, like I mean, U2's is obviously a big company, right? And they do a lot of sales, and
There's a
the
market for it. Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely a market for it. There is higher minimum order quantities. I've done like a bunch of behind the scenes research on that, and the absolute bare minimum that you have to do to make that work is like 500 units. That's like break even. Typically, they don't really want to work with anybody that's not going to sell 1,000 units, from what I know, at
Interesting.
least. So yeah, it's cool. I also thought that it would be cool. Like those are all made in China, right? And they're painted in China as well. Which whatever, like everything's made in China. I don't have strong opinions about that one way or the other. But I did think it would be cool. Like some of my friends are really into Warhammer and like actually painting their own minifigures.
Oh,
And I was
interesting.
thinking like somebody should do a U2's, but just ship you like the blank unit and then also sell like all the paint and materials you need. And then you could basically do like a paint your own U2's, and then you can have like a customized one and like make it your own. I thought that would be cool.
That's an interesting idea. Interesting. I like that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Warhammer
So
stuff seems crazy. Making
yeah,
your
and some
own.
people are so into that, like they love it. So yeah. Anyways, I also have a little bit of shiny object syndrome at times where I like get an idea and then I'm like, oh, I need to drop everything and immediately go focus on this new idea. So trying to stay focused for 2024 on projects that are working. The shift pack is one of them. That's a focus for 2024. So we're gonna stay dialed in on that and make that happen.
Yeah, man. No, it's exciting stuff. I mean, that was I was really hoping that we'd sell enough cards to like kind of like I guess like sell the point that like we can move them. I'm just curious to see like cuz I mean like 2023 is like a rough year for everybody. I know that like I'm surprised that we were able to have like a successful subathon this year, but at some point like if we end up doing another one, I think that'd be like a really great time to like launch them in accordance with like some kind of an event like that, which would probably be like sometime over a summer. So it could be like the 2024 summer if we can get it done in time, or like the summer after that. Like I'm okay with either. As long as it takes to make it good. But
Perfect.
however long you think it would take, how long do you think it would take to get this off the ground if we like hit the ground running like after the holidays, something like that, like Thanksgiving, I mean, not like Christmas.
Yeah, the main thing is going to be the artwork. The
Yeah,
manufacturing doesn't take too long, and I have big blocks of manufacturing capacity already secured for next year, so that's not a problem. Like we're going to be doing a big print run in the spring of next year. So the main blocker is going to be the artwork. That's what's going to take the longest by far out of
right.
anything. I think, you know, if we really got our shit together and like put together a plan, maybe by the end of the year in terms of getting the definitive final card list nailed down,
That's
and then
quick.
we really, yeah, that could be hard. Could be hard. So maybe
Yeah.
even end of January, um, and then maybe had artists lined up like ready to go right away, and could get that done in like 8 weeks or maybe 12 weeks. I don't know, depending on how many artists and how many cards they need to do,
Hmm.
depending on how likely that is. So then that would bring us to like February, March, April. So we could do the manufacturing itself, depending on signed cards again, could add another 4 to 6 weeks there. But I think next summer is definitely possible if we can get the artwork started in decent time early next year. That'll be the key.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I think like the next step would be like with the spreadsheet that I already made, I guess like trying to get like some kind of a quote or figuring out like how much it would cost to make those. And if it's like below what we expected or above what we expected is in terms of the artwork costs, then like adjust from there. Like maybe we add more cards or take some cards out.
Yeah.
That probably sounds like a smart idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it makes total sense.
Okay. So my idea was kind of like the speedrunner pack. I think it would be smart to not just go, obviously, like you said, this was a problem with the original pack. It's like I think you wanted one artist for everything at first, but then you had to like branch out and add more. We actually like that, like having different artists be able to show off their art in different series for the different creators. So I was thinking like, for the 8 years, like have like one artist for every year. I think that would make the most sense, but that would also put more load on the artists than the original series, because like it was only 5 pieces of art per artist, but now we're jumping up to 8 or potentially even more per artist. And then of course there's the collector's edition, which could make it 9 if we end up doing that. So do you think that'd be realistic for like one artist to take on like 10 different pieces in like a reasonable amount of time?
I think a good artist can do like, not sorry, that's the wrong word to say, but like on average from what I've seen with everything else that artists have got going on, I think asking for like one piece of artwork a week is reasonable. So I think if each artist had 8 pieces and we had 8 weeks to do all the artwork, that could line up really well. I think that some artists will take longer than that. Like I know for a fact, Turtle especially took way longer than that on your cards.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense and it shows, right?
Beautiful,
like he's got an insane level of detail and that's worth it. But I love the idea of having a consistent theme around the years. The other thing I will say is that something else I've found is that, after working on this company, is that there are so many talented artists out there, so many. And I think we could even potentially do like a theme. So maybe, the earliest year is like the pixel art year. And then we work with like
I forgot to mention that. That's exactly what I was thinking. So like with the 2016, my idea was to have like a comic book theme, because that was like the pre-face cam, and we had everybody had like the superhero profile pictures from the SpongeBob episode where they became superheroes. So like having like a comic book artist on that year for like the Quickster stuff would be super awesome. Yeah, like that's like totally like on the same level there, the same level of thinking there. Thanks awesome. Anonymous for the gift to Luke.
Appreciate that. I don't know if that's me, but I can't remember
his name.
Which name is actually. What is CREO Luke? But yeah, same page there, and we can even do like sorry, where I was going with that is like even if you want to have a consistent theme per year, it doesn't even necessarily all need to be the same artist, because there's tons of talented pixel artists out there. There's tons of talented comic book style artists out there, so we can do just pick a theme and then commission artists within that theme to kind of like stay on brand for that particular year, if we really want to make sure that we get the artwork done in 8 weeks, which I think would be like a decent goal to work towards.
Yeah. And then there was this one thing, I heard a lot about this discourse about the One Ring in the MTG series. Yeah, I kind of want to have like this like one ring where it's like a meme. During the subathon, there was like a lot of like there were a lot of like randoms coming in from like Reddit, like speaking their mind, whatever about like whatever they saw, like whatever clip they saw. And there was this one guy who came in and said, if it was 2011 SHiFT, then I would have subbed, because like I wasn't streaming in 2011, so it's like clearly just like a guy who's just like trying to start shit, didn't know what he was talking about. So we kind of want to have like we have like 2016 all the way through 2023, and then there's just one card where it's just like 2011 SHiFT, where he's just like raging at like Call of Duty or something, like this little kid just like raging at like Call of Duty, just to like really. It's like the one ring out of like 60,000 cards. That'd be really funny.
I like that.
I don't know how much that would increase production costs for like one extra card, but like, if it, I'd be willing to pay the difference just to see that get in there.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I think that could work. And yeah, like I was saying, like the additional artworks on cards, like we're working out a process
Yeah.
with our manufacturer where
Thank
we're
you.
going to be able to add new artworks for not really that much of an incremental cost
Yeah.
because we're going to be able to work them into our larger print runs. So
So that really
yeah,
is like we truly have like a lot more like because I misunderstand like the degree of freedom to which has been unlocked from this. Like we really can
yeah,
just print whatever we want as long as we can afford the artist, is what you're saying.
exactly. That's
Okay,
exactly what I'm saying. And that's
that's
very
awesome.
different from what I told you previously. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure
That is
we're
great
clear on
news,
that.
honestly. And plus, like, yeah, because like it's been a while since we've talked, and like the success of Hermitcraft has definitely probably like increased that ability as well. Uh, I think that the stream also like just for the stream as well.
Congratulations, you
Thank
won.
you, James, for the gift of Volcano. That's another inside joke. Would you be able to pull up the spreadsheet for the that I sent you so we can take a look at it? Because I know the chat just wants to like see. Because I know this is a lot of just like business talk, but I'm curious to see what the chat thinks. If you could like zoom in a little bit, like I'd say like 200% on this is gonna be like real small.
Yeah, let's see here.
So chat, pretty much like this is what we made on stream a while ago. I think it was a couple or a few months ago. This is like right after the recent subathon. So the orange section is unfinished, and the yellow section is like or unfinished as in like we haven't really decided if we want this yet. Yellow is maybe, and then the green ones are the ones that we've pretty much decided on. So you can see. Oh, I do have it as common and uncommon. Yeah, see, like or
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Uncommon. No, you have it right here. I think. I don't know where I saw that.
Mandela effect.
Yeah. So yeah, we got
So
common here, and then the one card per year.
yeah, so chat. It's kind of hard to show everything on the same screen because of the whole spreadsheet thing. But this is pretty much what we're thinking. I should have done it. I should have done it. The rows and columns switched, so people can kind of see like 1 year and next time, right? But these are the references that we have currently. I think I have a. Yep, there it is. Okay, so that's the Google Doc if you guys want to take a look at that and look at it yourselves.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up
So yeah,
myself.
really the next steps here are just making a few decisions around, the actual structure of the box itself, the distribution of the cards within that, and then figuring out the final card list. And then once we kind of have all that nailed down, I will get back to you with like an official kind of quote and proposal with all the financial details and whatnot. And then from there, we just pick the artist and we start to go for it. And that's pretty much it, honestly.
Right. Yeah, so I feel like cuz you're the master of all the finances. I'm kind of curious to if you look into it what your opinion would be on how many artwork we can realistically afford to get in. I guess like based on the spreadsheet, like if you want to take a look at that and get back to me on like hey, we can probably afford to have like another common card or like 2 more common cards for this year, That'd be like a digestible way for me to like, you know what I mean? I'd be able to like look into adding more concepts and take your word that like, like we have room for an extra card here, an extra card there, and then I can like take a look at that. Cause yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're adding an extra, like for example, like an extra common card for one rarity tier, then we'd be adding like 8 extra cards. So that's
Right.
like quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I kind of wanted like an idea of like how much like how feasible it is to add more cards, and I can keep coming up with ideas. But we could actually also just like I don't know, maybe like check out the feasibility of what we have now, and I'll keep like coming up with ideas and adding, and I guess we could just like figure out, yeah, not much more to say.
Yeah.
When do you think we'd want to have, like, based on this timeline that you're thinking, like, when do you think that we want to have the list finished? You said like before the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, to keep things rolling, if we're really trying to hit this summer, I think having the finalized card list by the end of the year would be great, like by December 31st. I mean, obviously, I'm, it's not a super tight deadline. Like if it drags into the first week of January, even if we went to the end of January, I think that could still keep us on track. But I think we
Okay.
need to be like having the artwork under construction by like mid-February at the latest,
I
to
think we'll
keep
hit
things
that.
rolling here.
I think that we'll be able to hit the artwork construction by January even, because we have so many ideas here already.
Yeah.
It would just be a matter of like communicating with the artist, because I know that like I don't know how it was for a lot of the other cards, but when I went to Pace and I was talking to Cheese, it seemed like he didn't even like know like what some of his cards looked like. But for us, it was like we were constantly back and forth over like the details and things, and like yeah. So I feel like that's going to be the way it's most likely going to end up being for these cards, and that could probably take longer. So I definitely want to get started earlier in the year, just so like we don't hit a wall and we're like, ooh, like there's not enough time to like perfect this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, thank you,
Yeah.
James, and thank you, False. By the way, I forgot about that.
For sure. And we can also like we've also evolved that process of how the creators like yourself and the artists work together. Like we have kind of a specific Discord set up for that now, and stuff like
Perfect.
that. So just so that you can communicate directly with the artists and share notes directly where I'm not the middleman getting in the way. So definitely we can sort all that out too and all the details
Yeah, we can
there.
do like some kind of like a channel or like a series of channels for like
Yeah.
each artist that yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Those are one of the things I
exactly.
was thinking too. Yeah, no, I mean this is all great, and man, I could probably even honestly, I could probably even get back to you on like maybe even like before the end of the month with the final list of the ideas. Honestly, like I think that we can get it done. Like this chat's pretty funny sometimes. They got some good ideas, so we'll be able to come up with some stuff. I think there were some other good ideas they had too that like some people were disappointed they didn't make it in. So
Yeah, for
sometimes,
sure.
yeah,
Bring those back. I believe in the chat. I think we definitely come up with some stuff. So
yeah.
yeah,
The
I
one
think end
joke
of the
always pulls through.
yeah. So I think the end of the year is definitely like a good goal to work towards. I know I got some stuff I'll get back to you on in terms of like feasible total number of cards, a few more of the retail details, etc. But yeah, I think let's do it. Let's push for the end of the year and see where we get to.
Perfect, man. All right. Well, if there's anything else that you want to show, I'm totally open to looking at it. But I feel like you got everything.
Yeah.
By the way, like, I think we should do this again sometime. Like, just like keep updated. Keep you involved with the stream. Show off the stuff you got. I think a lot of people really enjoyed this and enjoyed hearing from you. We've been looking forward to this for a while, so it's fun to have somebody else involved in all of our stuff. So we like that.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me on, and yeah, I'd love to do it again. So yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
dude.
Thanks, chat.
Looking
Appreciate you
forward to the near future.
Sounds good. All right, have a good night, guys. Enjoy the run. Good luck with the runs tonight.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Peace. All right. So that was CREO cards, everybody. What do you think? Yeah, a lot of it was business talk, but I think that's good that the chat's like fully in the loop at like how that stuff works. Yeah, no, I really like the display style stuff. That's like super good idea. A lot of people were saying that they wanted posters made out of the artwork. And like I thought about it like this could be something that we could just like upload like with his permission. Just like upload it to like Streamlabs or something. But this is way better. This is like going to be way higher quality, and he puts so much effort into everything that he does. I really love working with him. Yeah, the prints are so cool. I actually, hold on, I could show you guys this actually. So, I actually don't know which one this is. Oh, it's actually the one that he showed on stream. The first one that he showed. So like, this is what he's talking about. If you couldn't see it, it's kind of like this, right? This is the one that he showed as the metal plate, and we all got these. Like all the speedrunners got these as their cards when they came out. And now he's saying like he wants to like actually like sell them to people like these individual things, which I think is a fantastic idea. So I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. Yeah, the light box is a cool idea. And like also like rotating the images, or like someone in the chat mentioned, like lighting up specific spots of it. The prints are on the website now. Oh, I don't think we put them up yet, but I can. You guys are like you guys want to buy the prints, like you guys are already interested in the prints. I mean, we could put them up. I mean, I could talk to him about it. There are some that I like. I think that like the rare and the legendary would probably be the best. I like those arts the most for this kind of a thing, because like I mentioned, a lot of them are framed for the cards. Like, I know this one's not a good example, but like there's a lot of detail over the borders, but for like the spatula one, there's a lot of empty space. So I mean, we could talk about like putting them up. That could work. No, that's a super good idea. And I think it's great that he acknowledged. I was gonna bring up the boxes. It's such an improved product, and I already loved the first series. Like the first series was so good. Just a really great idea. Oh, so others are, yeah. I could definitely like, I could get those up. I could talk to him about it. I gotta integrate these products into my stream more. I don't really promote anything. I just kind of have my sub goals for the bad games that we play. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to all this, and we can discuss the different ideas, the different the cards. I'm actually gonna upload this video just so people can take a look at our ideas, and if you're watching this VOD, or if I decide to put it on the main channel, I'll probably put it on the main channel. Just like, why not? You guys can say in the comment section like your idea, like if you have any ideas for cards that you want to see that aren't on. Yeah. You didn't watch my Paw Patrol video. What's up with that? Why didn't you watch the Patrol? Yeah, if you have any ideas for new cards, definitely put them in, because like we have so many fans from across all the years. Brandon. Yeah. Yeah, put some ideas in the comments about your idea, and we can discuss them. I think they'd be really fun. I should definitely put this on the main channel, actually. It'd be a good idea. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, we're just getting finished up here with this this discussion about the CREO cards. Yeah, like the thing about like the characters like Bart and like Trump like pooping his diaper, like we probably won't be able to do that because of like legal stuff, but we could probably get like like a what, I don't think I don't know how much you want to fucking do with the diaper. Like we already have like the diaper gang card just because you have to have it. You have to acknowledge that it happened, but like also thanks for the happy birthday. Yeah. I don't know how much we want to do with the actual diaper, but I'm sure that the comments are going to be full of all sorts of degenerate, just to put it bluntly, ideas. Yeah, I mean, like there are plenty of ways to go with this. I really like that. Like now we have more freedom. It's just a matter of like paying for the actual artworks. I think that's fantastic. It unlocks the project quite a bit, because we were trying to combine a lot of different ideas to get them into like the same card, but now we can kind of like spread things out. I still like the idea of having the general stuff, like you saw on the screen, like the common card, like the common version is just gonna be like a snapshot of like what I looked like, or like whatever the what do you call it, the gimmick was, like I was wearing the hat or something like that, just for like the people. My goal with this project is like obviously like first off to expand, like first and foremost, obviously like we have to acknowledge that like I'm going to be making money off of this. Like you guys don't give a shit, but just like ethically I have to mention like this is something that is going to be supporting my income. It's another what do you call it, it's not like an angle, it's adding like another mode of income for like stability and security. I think that's cool, but it's really cool that we get to do something like this. That's I've always kind of wanted to do like something like a YouTube's action figure. Or diversifying revenue, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, you have to mention that first and foremost because like all this stuff is like supporting the streamer. You know, I acknowledge that these are things that, you know, nobody's buying these things because oh, like they're gonna be valuable someday, or like it's like really like the coolest thing in the world. Like they're very cool, but like the first and foremost thing that people are gonna be buying it for is to support my stream. So got to acknowledge that first, especially like the subathons and sub goals and stuff. Like it would not be transparent to deny that, like, you know, a big reason why people would buy these cars is to support my stream. So gotta at least mention that first. But second is that, like, you know, I think that it's been a while since we did like t-shirts for like the runs that we got back in the day, like the 59 and 58, and people have asked about the t-shirts over the years, which, like, I don't know, I don't think it's like they're like we're big boys now. Like we have some connections. We can do more stuff now. So I think that like 2023, like I think it's time to like give the fans of like these specific runs like a trading card with some artwork to commemorate that run that they watched that they really enjoyed. You know, that kind of a thing. Like give people like the diaper gang card and the movie card, the no cheese card, to commemorate, because there's so much more that we've done other than just like speed runs, right? Like there's so much more that we've done on this stream. So I think that having like cool stuff to commemorate that is in order, put it that way, because it's been a great 8 years, and yeah, it's nice to have like some kind of a token for people who've, you know, like nobody, like I don't want to say nobody, there are a few people who have watched all 8 years, and I love y'all, but a lot of people have like their own specific era that was like special to them watching the stream. Like whether it be like, you know, they were like going through school or like stuck inside through the pandemic and they just kind of watch the runs every day. There's going to be some card in this deck that means a lot to somebody, and I think that's going to be really fun to see like who trades for what, and like all the excitement, like when you pull like one of the crazy rare cards, like only 5 of them have ever been printed. And there's something about that. It's just like, especially as somebody who speed runs a game where like it's like thousands and thousands of tries to get the one. Like I think this is like totally on brand with this community. I think people are gonna love it. And you guys really enjoyed the speedrunner pack, even though it was only a small percentage. Like 1/11 of the cards are mine. Yogi Bear visits the Vatican. Yeah, I mean, I think that like the AI text to speech stuff, like more of like the iconic characters could potentially like at this point, like maybe the Easter Bunny's getting his own card. Yeah, what's up? But yeah, I don't want to make like an entire like 10, 15 card run of like Daggett like talking about volcanoes, you know what I mean? I think we should try to condense these into like smaller packages, you know. Yeah, I know it's like popular right now. You know, but like it just kind of feel like it's fun, but it kind of feels like if like imagine if we did this like 4 years ago and there were like 30 diaper cards. Like, there were just like 30 different like diaper cards in the same pack. Maybe some people would buy it. Maybe some people would buy it, but I don't think that's like how we want. Like we want to like keep it pretty balanced and like acknowledge that like the jokes that we have going on right now aren't going to necessarily be what we think is funny a year or two from now. Even though we joke about having the same joke, it's not always the same joke. Yeah, 2018, 2019. Yeah, exactly. False makes a great point too. I really want to get Azul involved in this. I know she's been busy lately, but I don't want to like make her draw a fucking diaper. Yeah, Azul's been super busy. She's been around here and there, but I want to give her first pick. I want to give her first pick for like the cards that she chooses to do. Whenever we decide to start and divide out like who's doing what, I want to make sure that she gets to pick the maybe we'll give like 5 cards to each creator. Like she gets to pick the 5 cards because she's done this forever for us. You know, she was a big player behind the success of the subathon last year, just being so quick with the emotes, and they were all just bang. Yeah, the Mindy emote is literally 10 out of 10, one of the best emotes on this website. Absolutely. No, she's evolved so much as an artist, and I've loved working with her all these years. I'm just, if it would just feel wrong to not, like, I really hope that she has the time to work on this stuff, because it would just feel heinous to not include her in something like this. It's a tough decision, because like if she is busy, like we still kind of got to go ahead if we're gonna get it done by the summer. But yeah, I think I could speak for everybody when I say that I hope that she at least gets to make like a card or two in this deck. That'd be really awesome. Yeah, gotta include everybody. The SHiFT clause card. Yeah, no, this is I'm definitely gonna upload this to the main channel. I want to see what people think. I want to see people's ideas. What cards we should add, any new ideas, because like the YouTube audience, like I know that like a lot of those guys aren't like in touch with the Twitch stream that much, but I'm curious to see what they think about like what their favorite moments are. So got a SHiFT Rage card, just me screaming at the game, not the you're gonna need like 30 of those for every year. Oh yeah, that's the VHS that Professor gave me. Yeah, he made the history videos into a VHS. Super cool. Yeah, that was like one of the best gifts I've gotten. I don't want to like let this VOD drag on for too long, but Spleen made this for me. She got me a bunch of stuff, but this is like the big one. Bunch of games too. Fucking Biggie Cheese. Dude, this is so good. This is gonna be in the background during the explain videos whenever I finish those. If I hopefully get a 41 at some point in my life, right? Biggie Cheese. Yeah, it's kind of tough with like the copyright characters. We can probably have like, you know, like an ambiguous looking raccoon with a lab coat and a diaper, and just like, you know, call it Dr. Movie and not make it like Guardians of the Galaxy character or anything like that. I think there are ways of getting around it. Yeah, no, I love those live events, man. We gotta get more people to go to Pace. But yeah, leave in the comments what you think we should do. If you have any ideas, and I like how the lore on these characters has changed. Like over the course of the last subathon, like the lore has entirely changed. Like now it's about the prostate exam. Dr. Movie's got a lot of fans now, man. After the pace run, Dr. Movie was on the commentary. Yeah. Like there are definitely ways of getting around it, like a vaguely like you know, like orange-haired man with a suit, like with a diaper or something. I don't think people are gonna want that, but it sounds like it's just like the meme play. It sounds like a really good idea until we actually see the card. Like there are some ideas that we're gonna have to like, you know, I think that Luke is gonna be a good like mediator to this, because there are gonna be some ideas that, you know, we might go a little bit overboard, but yeah. Like I said, we'll figure it out. Yeah, so whatever ideas you have, leave them in the comments section. And yeah, we're going to try to get this list ready hopefully in early December, like by the end of the month, something like that. Yeah. All right, well, hi YouTube, and let's keep this discussion going. You could also join my Discord server as well. The CREO 8 Years of SHiFT channel is going to be where we're going to be discussing all these ideas. But yeah, I'm curious to see what the other audience thinks, because I haven't been uploading that much, and I'm kind of curious to see what their take is. So, all right, well, that's going to be it. We're going to do runs now. Thanks for watching.